We're going to use this as a demonstration. I had a lady who has a daughter who asked, when another time in history have we been manipulated by the media? Well, the answer to that is the Minister of Propaganda in Germany, Joseph Goebbels. Now, I want you to looky here. These people are Council on Foreign Relations members in the Trilateral Commission. They're CBS, NBC, RCA, ABC, Cable, Public Broadcast, Associated Press, UPI, Rutgers, Boston Globe, LA Times, Baltimore Sun, Washington Times, New York, Time, Newsweek, Post, Washington Post. And if you notice, they're all members of the same group. All of them. That's who controls the media. That's where all the propaganda comes from. That, and you got to stop and remember, none of this fake news came out before 2012 because they weren't allowed. But a couple nitwit Republicans happened to put the propaganda law into the National Defense Authorization Act, page 326, page to 328. Go look it up. Now let's looky here. So you understand this. The end of war is the control of a conquered people. If a people can be conquered in the absence of war, the end of war will have been achieved without the destruction of war. A worthy goal, and the glory of communist conquest all over the stupidity of the enemies of the people. Brainwashing. Through clever and constant application of propaganda, people can be made to see paradise as hell, and the other way around, to consider the most wretched sort of life as possible. Adolf Hitler. What you have is mass hysteria, people. Mass hysteria. Now, did we see any bodies in China or Italy or any of this other stuff? You might have seen they might have put a few on camera. It didn't make sense. And who was over there checking on the stuff in Russia, in China, the bodies and stuff? Who else but the World Health Organization? They are a communist organization stationed in New York City. You'll never have an American as their leader down there. He's some kind of a general, I can't remember. Never happened, people. Got down here, now you look at here. The change in the society brought about in 3 steps. Thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. The first step is to create a problem. The second step is to generate opposition to the problem, fear, panic, hysteria. The third problem is to offer a solution to the problem created in step 1, a change which would have been impossible to impose on the people without the proper psychological conditioning achieved in stages 1 and 2. Now how does that work? Okay, looky here. Poor old Joe here. Now, you call a plumber, but unknown to you, the plumber has a police record from another town, whereas he's known as Shifty Joe. Joe, checks the pilot light, which really keeps going out simply because of some grit in the burner. Joe knows this, but he tries to talk you into buying an expensive new water heater, and you refuse. Okay, Joe give up? No. He's an expert at mind manipulation. He knows how to use your doubts, fears, and uncertainties that are common to the human condition. He just shrugs and puts the pilot light back together, and when you're out of the room, he does two things. He blows some more grit into the gas line. He pours some rusty water under the water heater. He turns out the light, gives you his card with advice, call him if you have any more problems. Sure enough, within a day or two, the sputtering pilot light goes out. You turn the light back on, and you see rusty water stains. You're a little nervous now about what Joe said about a faulty heater, and you can call Joe again. And after further pervasive words from Joe about dangerous water heaters that could blow up, you reluctantly give in, accept the very idea that you refused to consider 2 days before to buy Joe's overpriced, unneeded water heater. And you do this at great cost. You have to take out an expensive loan which you cannot afford. But Shifty Joe has won using lies, cheap tricks, and your own insecurity and lack of knowledge against you. You have bought something you didn't need at a price you couldn't afford from someone you don't like or trust. Why on earth did you do such a thing? He created a concern about the problem. He generated fear and hysteria about the water heater blowing up. Third, he graciously offered a solution, which you previously refused to consider. Now do you understand what in the living hell is going on in the United States of America with this so-called flu that Bill Gates and them have perpetrated across the whole band of the globe? This is nothing but a global takeover of the world. Wake up, people. Who wins? Not you. You got to pay all that money. Wake up. Smell the roses, because some roses aren't real. They're fake. Thanks for watching.